So now we are going to start with the day 5. In the day 5, we are going to learn about the practicals of the information gathering, that is also known as a bootprinting. In that, we have discussed two types. That first one was the active, second is the passive. So before doing the practicals, let's discuss the techniques or the ways to perform these two techniques. So let's discuss what are the things that you can gather about a target. So like suppose if I have to gather the information about from the social media, then what are the things that I can gather? So from social media, like from Instagram, like mostly people mention their date of birth over there, and I will be able to gather their complete name, their key interests, okay, their educational information from LinkedIn, okay, and their key interest area as well, like by checking their posts, like what are they posting on daily basis. So I'll be able to analyze their behavior, their key interest, like in which they are interested. Like suppose there is a guy who is posting the pictures of animals, that means he's animal lover, or maybe he's more interested in the animals. Or if there is a person who is posting the pictures of the cars, then it means maybe that person was interested in the cars. So you will be able to analyze like what are their interests, okay, and then you can further link that thing with our attack scenarios. Let's take more examples like from search engine. So if you are gathering information from the search engine, then this technique comes under the passive bootprinting. In that, we uses some sort of search engines, like firstly would be Google. So in Google, we uses the Google Docs. So what does it mean by Docs? So Docs are the operators that we use to gather the filtered information from the Google. So like if I'm using the site colon yahoo.com, then in the response, Google is only going to show me the results of yahoo.com, only yahoo.com. And from here, you can see that I'm able to gather the subdomains of a target. So this is a passive information gathering. Here you can see that these are the subdomains. So subdomains means suppose this is a main domain, yahoo.com, and subdomains means the child domain of a Yahoo. So child domain would be abc.yahoo.com. So abc is the subdomain of a main domain. So that's why it is known as a subdomain. So here we have gathered the subdomains by using this search engine. So apart from this, I can also use other Google Docs, like suppose if I have to search for any specific file type, then I'm going to use file type colon PDF. Like if I'm looking for any sensitive PDF file that is available publicly from the target called yahoo.com, then hit enter. And here you can see that I'm getting the different results. Let's open one of them. And all these are the PDFs, because here we have selected our file type, that is PDF. So here you can see that these are the PDFs. So maybe one of the document was sensitive, because mistakenly or by chance, you will get the sensitive document available publicly. So by using these Google Docs, you can search for specific queries. Okay. So it depends on you how creatively you are using them. So there is a Google Docs list comes up, like Google Docs list. So here is a list is available that you can use. Yeah. So these are some common Google Docs in title, in URL, in text. So suppose if you have to only search the keyword in a title of a page, then you can use this. And if you need to search that keyword in a URL of the target, then you can use this. And if you are looking to search keyword in you are looking to gather information about a location, then you can use this. And if you are looking for specific site results, then you can use site. And if you are looking for results called weather or related to movie, then you can use these. So these are some common Google Docs. Apart from that, there are others are also available. And here, this website have also mentioned the examples with the screenshot. So it is going to be helpful for you. So how you can use that, and the brief description is also available for every Google Docs. So here you can use that. And if you are not able to create your own Google Docs, then there is one more reference for you. That is GHDB. That is Google Hacking Database. Here you can see that the list of Google Docs comes up. And here multiple authors have submitted their Google Docs. Okay. So you can use this Google Docs to gather information about your target. And here the category was also mentioned here. So like this Google Doc comes in which category? So like if you are going to search for this Google Doc, then this Google Doc is going to display you the juicy information. Juicy information means sensitive information overall. So let's search this Google Docs over the Google. Here you can see that we are getting the sensitive information like here I'm getting a sensitive file. So that is a configuration file of this target application. Again, it is a vulnerability of a directory listing. So in that it depends, like the severity depends on the file that is basically disclosed here. So here, if the file doesn't contain any sensitive information, that it would be a informational vulnerability, and if it contains any sensitive information, then it would be a critical finding. Like suppose if you are getting any database dump over here, then it is a critical vulnerability. You can download this, and in the config.txt you can see that here they are displaying the username, password, and the database of the application. So it's quite critical to disclose these kind of information publicly. Okay, so the example, like how much details you can get from this technique. So Google Docs are quite useful if you are going to use it very creatively. Okay, so that's why I have referred the Google hacking database for you. So you can use these Google Docs and you can create your own as well. And if you are thinking that your Google Docs is completely new and it is completely creatively and no one has used that docs, then you can publish that doc over this Google hacking database. To publish over this and to copyright by your name, you just have to mail the OffSec Google hacking database, and they're going to publish it. They're firstly going to verify it, like is it a completely unique doc or not. And if it was completely unique, then they're going to publish your Google Docs. So earlier, I think 3 years ago, I have published my docs as well. So if I'm going to search by name, then Prashant Sharma, and here you can see that 5+ Google Docs I have already submitted over this Google hacking database. These are submitted in the 2020. So if I'm just clicking on the one, then here the details are also available, like the category of this Google Doc and the author name, and here is a username. So it's quite unique. So I've used everywhere this username. So if you are going to search over the Google, then you will get complete detail about me. Everything like Insta, Medium, GitHub, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything. Advantage of using the quite unique name over all the social media handles. Here you can see that the LinkedIn as well. So you can verify the particular author. So if you are going to submit any Google Doc, if you are interested to, they are going to mention your social media handle. So just make sure that you are also including your social media handle. So they are going to publish that as well. Okay, so this is about the Google hacking database. So you can use this database, Google Docs, to get more information about your target. Okay, so these are some sensitive ones. Apart from the Google, we are going to use other search engines like Shodan. Shodan we uses to gather the information about the target internet devices, like the devices that are connected with the internet. Then you can search those devices with this search engine, that is a Shodan. So Shodan is the world's first search engine for internet connected devices. So if you are looking for any devices that is connected with the internet, then you can search on this. So again, for this, there are Shodan docs comes up, like if you are searching for any organization like Dell, then you are going to find that. And if you are going to search, then you will get the results like the following IPs are part of this organization. So if I am going to search, then I will not be able to search, because to search over here, it uses some search filters. And for per month, you will get some filters. Okay. And again, Shodan is not completely free. You have to pay them, and they again have a subscription model. Okay. So you can purchase the Shodan membership to gather the information. So for now, I'm going to display like how the results displays. So Shodan. So this is again a one example. Let's open few more. So here you can see that this person has searched for this specific Google Doc, Shodan Docs, and here it is only searching for the city called San Francisco. And here the result comes up. So total result was 49,771. And here it is also disclosing the countries as well, like how many results are from the United States, and from 60 results are from Mexico, and a few of them are from different countries. And the IP address of the country, of the particular device, and from the country where it is coming from. So San Francisco, and here you can see that the server version are also getting disclosed in the response, and the HTTP status codes as well. And if we are going to click over this, then you will get a dashboard like this. Yeah. So when you are going to click on any IP, then you will get the dashboard like this. In that contains the general information about the target, like country, city, organization, internet service provider information, autonomous system number information, the technologies the target is running over there, the front-end technologies and the CMS, the server-side language they are using, the database they are using, what are the vulnerabilities that exist in the target, what are the CVs that the target have, what are the open ports the target have, and what are the services they are using, what are the versions they are using of the services. So these kind of information you will get from the Shodan. Apart from Shodan, there are other alternatives are also there. You can use Censys as the alternative of the Shodan. So again, it is also going to display the same results. Okay, like so in the Censys, there you can see that around 2.8 billion services are available, and if we talk about the IP version host, then 238.5 million hosts are available. And so it's quite a huge data. Okay, that is available over the Censys. And for Censys as well, we have to use the Dorks to get the filtered result. We can search for any specific IP address, name, protocol, or field here. Censys is just a alternative search engine that you can use. Apart from Censys and Shodan, there are other search engines also comes up that we can use while doing our reconnaissance over other target. So these techniques we use for gather information about our target on the passive way. Let's discuss more about these techniques, like what are all the other techniques. Suppose if I have to identify the information about the technologies the target is using in their infrastructure, then I can refer the job portals as well, because by checking their job post, I will be able to analyze the company's requirements. Okay, like what are the technologies they are asking from their candidate. So we can observe that they're using that particular technologies in their organization. Like example would be Docker or Kubernetes, because these are the latest, or not latest, these are the quite trending technologies that is trending nowadays. Okay, or maybe they are requiring any developer having the experience of blockchain, or maybe any developer have the prior knowledge about any specific programming language. So in that way, we can also analyze the target's technology they are using, and we can also analyze other things as well about our target. Like for gathering the collocation, then we can use the maps. Google Maps also comes up. Apart from that, Google Earth that we can use to analyze our target's location. So it will take a minute to load. So just wait for minutes. So here you can see that it's completely our Earth. And if I'm going to just zoom it a little bit, and here you can see there are multiple cities comes up. Okay, so multiple cities comes up, and now let's zoom it a little bit. But nothing was there. So you can see that now when I'm zooming to the target, I'm able to navigate like what are the buildings available in that area, what is the exact geolocation of my target. So if I'm the address of the target, then I will be able to check what are the other things that is available nearby my target. Okay, is there any playground is available? Is there any park is available? Or is there any place is available near my target, so I can plan my activities further. Here we are also talking about the target like people as well, like any person or any company. So just take in mind, we are talking about both the person as well and the companies or the organization. Okay, so by using these tools, you can analyze the geographical location of it. So these are the tools. Apart from this, there are again alternatives are also available for the Google Maps, like Bing Maps. You can use the Google Maps not working for you, then you can use Bing Maps, and some other maps are also available. Okay, so again, there are multiple alternatives of maps are available nowadays. Okay, and for checking the alerts, then you can use Google Alert. So that's how you will be able to monitor your target application by using this tool, that is a Google Alert. Now let's discuss about the domain enumeration. We can perform the domain enumeration by both ways, like active or passive. Before checking that part, let's pick up a target from the bug crowd and let's understand about it. So let's do a information gathering about that target. So it comes under the website footprinting. So let's open the bug crowd. Let's pick up some programs. So Bugcrowd is a crowdsourced platform in which multiple companies comes up and launch their programs, and security researchers usually hunts over them. And when they report a vulnerability over there, then the companies are going to reward them basis per their vulnerability if the vulnerability was valid only. So this is about just a quick introduction about bug crowd. Let's search for a program that is a netgear. Let's open this. Here, scoping part, if we talk about, then in the scope, we have multiple things like we have iOS application, Android application, API. But for now, we are only going to pick up this one. That is a netgear.com. So that is a web application, okay, of the netgear. For the scoping part, we are going to discuss in the detail like how we can pick up our target, how we can get the scope, what are the wildcards in there, what are the things that we have to check in the first thing, and how we can analyze our target in a very detailed manner. So that we are going to discuss later, but for now we are just moving directly to the target. So here is our target. To gather the initial information like the IP address of the target. So how you can analyze the IP address. The common method like to ping the IP address, to ping the domain. Like I'm going to ping the netgear.com. And here you can see that in the response I'm getting the IP address. Okay. Now just copy this. But mostly application like uses the firewall or CDNs to hide their real IP. So why they hide their real IP? To prevent some security issues like DDoS or the information about their web server. If they are going to hide their real IP, then they are protected by some sort of attacks like DDoS or their information leaking about the web server. Again, there are ways to bypass that protection, and you will be able to get the real IP that is hidden behind these security tools. So we are going to check later how we can bypass that security check to get the real IP that is hidden behind these security tools. Okay, so now let's get a few more information about the target, like the information, like what are the technologies the application is using. So we can use extension in an initial phase, that is a Wappalyzer. So Wappalyzer is available for both Chrome and the Firefox. So currently we are using the Firefox, and in Firefox it is already installed. That is why it is coming it as a remove. So here you can see that Wappalyzer is already installed. So when you have installed the Wappalyzer, just open the website and click on the extension, and in the results you will see the detailed information about the technologies that are present in this target. In the technologies part, you can see that this application running this particular framework, this player, this CMS. So basically they are using the SJ Tradion content management system. They are using the handlebars JavaScript framework, and it is also disclosing the version of that framework. That is a 4.7.8. Okay. They are also using some CRM from Salesforce. They are using a video players from YouTube. They are also using few of the JavaScript libraries as well. And they are also disclosing the version names like jQuery 3.5.1. They are jQuery UI 1.12.1, Modernizer 2.7.2, Core.js 3.9.1. They are also using font scripts. And again, it is also disclosing the version name as well, 4.7.0. So what can we do if we have the version name? Then we can research about that version. Like, is there any vulnerability exist on that library or plugin? So let's discuss like jQuery 1.12. jQuery 1.12.1. Let's search for the exploit. Like, is there any exploit is available for the target? So here the first result comes up. That is from the Snyk. Snyk is a tool that we use in the secure code review. So it is displaying the few vulnerabilities and the version as well, like that is below than 1.13.2 is vulnerable with the cross-site scripting, and it is also disclosing the exact code that is vulnerable with this vulnerability. Let's see some other results as well. Here we are also getting a result from the exploit DB. So here it is giving us the exploit that we can use to perform the DOS. So here this plugin is vulnerable with the denial of service attack. This attack, we can use this exploit. So here is a download button is also there. So we can download this exploit, and we can try to perform the DOS attack by using this exploit. And few other information are also coming up like exploit DB ID and the author name, the type of attack, and the date that is published over here. And the little bit information about this exploit, like the author name, date, exploit title, and the software link that is basically vulnerable with this, and the version. So basically this plugin is vulnerable with the 1.12.1. Any application that is running this version or any lower version of this plugin, then it is vulnerable with the DOS attack. And here you can see that the CV is also assigned for this attack. You can use this attack, you can download this, and you can track like if the target is vulnerable with the DOS attack or not. If you're trying to exploit the target, then this thing comes under the penetration testing. So let's see what is penetration testing. Penetration testing is the process of finding vulnerabilities or security loopholes into the target, and after finding them, we are going to exploit them. So here the main thing comes in, that is exploit. There is one more term that we use, that is vulnerability assessment. Vulnerability assessment means we are scanning the target and identifying the potential vulnerabilities into the target. In that, we are just identifying the potential vulnerabilities. We are just getting the vulnerabilities from the scanner and we are going to validate them, like is it a false positive or a true positive. But we are not going to exploit them. So, but if we are going to exploit them, then it comes under the penetration testing. So why are we exploiting them? There is a reason. Because suppose if you are getting any vulnerability from the scanner, then suppose it is saying that this target is vulnerable with the DOS attack, but you haven't checked, like, is it really vulnerable with the DOS attack or not? Because they have already implemented a lot of security tools that is going to prevent them to exploit the DOS attack. Then you are going to check manually, like if I'm able to perform DOS attack, and if there is no security checks were implemented to prevent this vulnerability, to prevent the exploitation of this vulnerability, then yeah, you will be able to perform the DOS attack. But if there are some sort of security checks was implemented that is going to prevent the exploitation of this attack, then you will not be able to perform the DOS attack. Even the target was vulnerable with the DOS attack. So this is about the research part. So these are the two terminologies we have discussed. First one was the penetration testing. Second is the vulnerability assessment. Okay. And in penetration testing, we have three types of penetration testing concept. First one was black box. Second is gray box. Third is white box. In black box, we don't have any knowledge about our target. So it's completely a blind testing. We get the domain or IP of our target and we are completely blind. We don't have any information about our target. And we are going to perform penetration testing over here. Then it is a black box. And if we are getting any kind of limited or any information about the target, like we are getting the walkthrough of the application, like how the application really works, or we are getting the URL plus credentials. So we are getting the partial information in this gray box penetration testing. In that we have limited knowledge about our target, then we know it as a gray box testing. But in the white box, we get the complete information about our application. Like we get the source code, we get the walkthrough, we get the credentials, we get the URL. So we have everything over there. So that's why it takes time, okay, because we have to test everything like source code, application, iOS application, Android application. We have multiple applications, everything we have. So that's why it takes time. Before starting any engagement like PT part, companies decide the scope, and based on the scope, the complete billing was happen. Like it completely depends like how many days you are consuming for the PT and how many targets was appeared in the PT. Like suppose the target was 100, then again the bill could be different as compared to the target that have 10 scope only. So in the scoping part, we get the web URL or IP, credentials, API endpoints. So these are some common things that we get. And before starting any PT, there is one more thing, that is NDA. That is basically signed by companies and the organization. So there is a non-disclosure agreement between you and your organization. So that means you are not going to disclose any kind of information about the activity. Like suppose if you have identified any vulnerability, then you are not going to misuse that information, okay, to against their organization. So that's the agreement that you have to sign before starting any activity. So it's basically a permission. Okay, again, all the terms and conditions are mentioned over there. Like in the scoping part, we have the complete proper permission of our target application. So they are basically authorizing us to perform the security checks over there. It's kind of a security testing, or you can say application security, like if you are performing the security testing over the applications. And if we talk about the product-based application, then they follow the process called SDLC. That is basically a software development lifecycle that we use to build a product feature. Okay, so basically it's used widely in most of the product-based organizations. So in that, basically, if you are preparing a functionality called OTP, okay, for your application, then you have to go with the process from QA. You have to take the approvals from the QA, UAT, and the security team, then DevOps. Okay, they are going to check the product at the different levels. So basically QA and UAT team is going to check like is the environment would be stable. Like if you are implementing any feature into the application, then that feature is going to impact other things or not. Okay, and the security team is going to check like if the feature have some vulnerabilities or not. Like suppose you have developed the OTP, and in that if we are able to bypass that OTP functionality or not. And suppose if we are able to bypass that, then we recommend the developers to mitigate that vulnerability by implementing these recommendations. So we suggest the recommendation like what you have to use in case if we have found any vulnerability. Okay, and after that they again comes up with a new fix, and you have to test them again. And after that they go with other teams like DevOps and TechOps to implement into the production. So firstly, we are doing the staging environment testing. Overall, the testing was happening in the staging environment. And after that, the fix is getting deployed in the production. By using this complete process, the overall production environment would be safe, and the staging environment usually isolated with the main environment. Like you will not be able to access the staging environment outside from the network. You need at least a VPN credentials or at least some kind of a private network or devices that is basically whitelisted to access the network. So that's about the staging environment. These are the processes that we follow for the penetration testing. Now let's only discuss about the information gathering part. Like, so here we are getting the front-end technologies from the application. So these are the things we have got. Like apart from this, there are alternatives of Wappalyzers are also available. Like if you need to gather more information about the target in a very detailed manner, then you can use BuildWith. BuildWith is a tool that you can use. So here, I'm entering a application, and that is Netgear. So here you can see that I'm getting information like analytics and tracking. So they are using these tools. Okay, and here I'm also getting a brief description about the thing they are using. Here you can see that in every tool, like in every plugin, whatever is it, we are getting a description as well. So it's kind of a detailed thing we are getting. Here you can see that we are getting the widgets as well, and we are also getting the description for that. Everything we are getting in a very detailed manner as compared to Wappalyzer, because Wappalyzer only displays the icon and a little bit information about the version. That's it. But in BuildWith, it displays the information in a very detailed manner. So it's the frameworks, e-commerce, everything you will get in a very detailed manner. Okay, what are the languages they are using, server side, everything. And if you need any tool like in Kali Linux, so we have again one more tool that you can use in the Kali Linux, that is Whatweb. So you can use this tool to gather a basic information about our target. Like we have a target called https://navigate.com. The scan was done, and here you can see that in the response we are getting the details like IP address, the email address of the target, and the few of the security headers like strict transport security, and this is the ideal age of this header that should be implemented, and some other headers as well like X content type options, X frame options, and X access protection header. Okay, so these are the details we are getting from the target, and we are also getting the location as well, country. Yeah, so here we are also getting the information about the country as well, about our target. So here we have getting the basic information about the target. And now suppose if I have to gather the information about the web server, then I can use the Whois lookup. So now I can get a basic information about our target domain. So now here I'm going to use the netgear.com as a target, and let's see the results. Here you can see that I'm getting the registrar information first, then the dates when it was created, when it is going to be expired, and it is basically 10,505 days old application. And here we are getting the IP address, IP location, ASN number of the target. We are going to dig deeper in the ASN part in the next few days, so don't worry. So you can ignore for now. So these are the information about the target. So here we are getting the street address, we are getting the phone number, we are getting the country, the postal code, everything about the target registration. Okay, so these are the Whois record. So by analyzing them, you will be able to get the idea about the target. So this comes under the Whois lookup. Okay, so here we are using the Whois lookup to gather the information about the domain. And let's see the test PHP. Here, if we are checking from the Wappalyzer, we are getting few more results, like we are getting the result for web servers. So they are using Nginx 1.19.0, and they are using a programming language called PHP as a server side, and their version is 5.6.40. So Wappalyzer is going to show different results based on the different web applications. In the end, you just have to map all the things, so you will be able to craft a better attack, and you will be able to bypass the security checks that is implemented by the organization. So these are the few interesting information that you can gather from the target. Apart from that, you can also use archive, like archive.org. So by using this, you will be able to get the archived version of the website. So like if I have to search for facebook.com, few more it's loading. Here you can see that the graph. So it basically displays the number of changes happened in the year. Here you can see that in the 2023 or in the 2018 or 2019, the changes was huge. So let's see the page in the 2003. So here you can see that only one snapshot is available. Let's check that. So how the Facebook was looked at 2003. In 2003, so that's how the Facebook looks. It's about face, software to manage your world. That's how the Facebook looks in the 2003. So here you can basically get the snapshot of the archived applications. There is one more reference tool I want to suggest to you. That is Percent Framework. You can use this. So suppose if you have to gather information about the username or email address or the domain name, then here you can see that there are a number of tools comes up. So here we have to enumerate the subdomains. Then just click on this, and here again the multiple tools comes up like sublister. Sublister is a tool that we use to gather the subdomains of a target from the target. Subdomain uses both techniques like passive and active, and you can also brute force the subdomains the target get to the target, and that techniques comes under the active subdomain enumeration. Okay, and if you are gathering the information from the search engines or other platforms that doesn't interact with the target, then that comes under the passive subdomain enumeration. Okay, so in this there are some sort of keys you have to set up on your own, like for VirusTotal. So that is going to, if you are going to use the keys, then you will be able to use this tool at their full potential. And there's one more tool comes up from the project discovery, that is find out. Okay, so if you need to gather the subdomains in a passive way, then you can use this as well. Here you can see the screenshot. It is saying that like here we are gathering the subdomains of hackard1.com from different sources. You can use this tool as well. These are the things for the information gathering. So that's how you can use. So apart from that, there are multiple things in the reconnaissance part, like directory enumeration comes up, port scanning comes up, visual recon comes up, and we uses bunch of tools. We uses the Bobsuit as well for information gathering, and there are a lot of tools that we are going to use in the information gathering part when our training is going to be started. Okay, but here today we have just covered a brief about the information gathering, like what are the things we are going to cover in the next few classes. So this is just a brief idea about the information gathering, like how you can gather the information. That's it for the day 5. Okay, now let's move with the day 6 part.